Hi everyone, welcome to my Understanding Business Assessment 3 presentation. I'm Ting. I'm the speaker that will present in this Executive Planning Day. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. Today I will be discussing three key macroeconomic measures: GDP, inflation, and unemployment, and how they relate to the business cycle along with their relevance to organizations like ours. Firstly, gross domestic product like GDP measures the total value of all goods and services produced in a country. It is a major indicator of overall economic activity. Inflation tracks the rate at which prices rise over time, commonly measured using the Consumer Price Index or CPI. It shows us how the cost of living changes. Unemployment measures the percentage of the labor force actively looking for work but unable to find it. It reflects job market conditions and economic health. Now, these indicators help us understand the business cycle, which has four stages: expansion, peak, contractions, and trough. When GDP is rising, it signals expansion. Business grow, jobs increase, and investment flow. If inflation is high or unemployment is rising, this can be early signs of a downturn. A drop in GDP typically indicates contraction or even recession. Eventually, the economy hit a trough, and with stimulus or policy support, begins to recover and expand again. Understanding these trends is crucial for any organization. It helps us make informed strategy decisions, from hiring to pricing to investments. By staying aware of where we are in the business cycle, we can anticipate risks, seize opportunities, and ensure our operations are resilient and adaptive to economic change. Okay, for topic 2, I'm using the aggregate demand, aggregate supply model to examine how US tariffs on Singaporean exports affect our macroeconomy. When the US imposes tariffs on Singapore exports, our goods become more expensive and less competitive in the US market. This causes a decline in net exports, which shifts the aggregate demand curve leftward from 81 to 82. As shown in the diagram, this shift leads to a decrease in the general price level from P1 to P2, and a drop in real GDP from Y1 to Y2. These are classic signs of a short-run economic slowdown, often accompanied by higher unemployment. In the short run, reduced demand and weaker export revenues may also discourage investment in export-heavy sectors. Businesses may hold off on expansion, cut jobs, or redirect resources. As a response, Singapore may start to restructure its trade strategy, strengthening relationships with Asia, China, and the EU to reduce reliance on US markets. Looking at the global trade perspective, tariffs undermine comparative advantage, where countries specialize in producing what they are best at. These protectionist policies reduce global efficiency and may lead to retaliatory tariffs, sparking trade tensions. They also weaken institutions like the WTO and create uncertainty in global supply chains. For a highly open economy like Singapore, this can have a significant negative effect on income, employment, and investor confidence. In short, understanding these short-run dynamics helps organizations anticipate risks and adapt their strategies to changing global trade environments. Okay, for topic 3, I will explain why people often choose unhealthy foods, even when they truly want to make better choices through the lens of behavioral economics. Let's start with the key difference. Traditional economics assumes that people are rational, that they make decisions with perfect information to maximize long-term benefits. But in real life, we know it's rarely that simple. Okay, behavioral economics tell a more realistic story. It accounts for biases, emotions, habits, and decision shortcuts that affect everyday choices, including what we eat. The first concept is present biases. People prefer immediate gratification, like the taste and convenience of fast food, over long-term goals like health. This time, inconsistent behavior explains why intentions don't always translate into actions. Next, there is broader rationality. When we are stressed, rushed, or overwhelmed, we don't process all the information. Instead, we use mental shortcuts, often going with whatever feels easy or familiar, even if it's not healthy. Then their default bias and decision architecture. If unhealthy options are more visible or easier to grab, we tend to go for them. Even those who want to change are often not toward the default. This is where the power of choice design comes in. Small changes like making healthy foods more visible or repositioning them as the default cannot people toward better choices. So while traditional models assume we act logically, behavioral economics help us understand the gap between intention and action, especially in decisions as daily and human as what we eat. Okay, for topic 4, in the first scenario reduces inequality. AI tools become widely accessible and easy to use. This allows low and mid-skill workers to improve their efficiency and productivity. As a result, demand for this group of workers rises, shown in the diagram by a rightward shift from DR1 to DR2. Consequently, wages increase from W1 to W2 and employment rises from Q1 to Q2. The new equilibrium moved from point A to point B, reflecting improved pay and job prospects for these workers. This scenario helps close the gap between skill levels and reduces inequality in the labor market. The second scenario increases inequality, paints a different picture. Here, generative AI substitutes low-skilled workers in routine jobs like customer service and data entry. The demand for low-skilled labor drops, shifting the curve leftward from DL1 to DL2, wages fall and jobs are lost. Meanwhile, high-skilled workers use AI to boost productivity, driving up their demand and wages. This shift pushes the equilibrium in their favor, widening the income gap and increasing inequality. The labor market becomes more divided, with gains heavily titled toward high-skill roles. Okay, so what do we expect over the next 5 years? It's likely we will see a hybrid outcome. In the short term, AI will mostly benefit skilled professionals, but without action, low-skilled workers could fall behind. That's why policy plays a crucial role. By investing in education, reskilling programs, and making AI tools more accessible, we can shape a future where the benefits and AI are more eventually shared. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm happy to take any questions. Thank you.